And Meek Mill, mind your business. Ain't Diddy playing in your booty hole, boy? Huh? Ain't Diddy you in your ass? Why you on my tweet around the Maybach trucks? Y'all bitches. 21, where you at? Hey, man. Just come in and got the same hoodie on, man. No Diddy, man. I ain't on that Meek Mill. Diddy shit. Ain't that right, gang? I ain't on no Diddy shit, man. He just so happened to get the same hoodie I got.
How did you feel when you saw this lawsuit that made it seem as if perhaps Diddy and Meek Mill had sex?
I mean, to each their own. And why would they not have sex when they're gay rappers?
They.
Do you think Meek Mill's gay?
We all know he's gay.
Who's we?
Rick Ross know he's gay.
I didn't know. It's news to me.
Everybody, Rick Ross knows.
Wow. Just when you thought the Diddy drama had reached peak absurdity, Soulja Boy popped up out of absolutely nowhere, and he came in swinging. Soulja took to social media and accused Meek Mill of something so explicit, so wild, that people actually had to stop scrolling and blink twice to make sure they read that right. In his words, brace yourself, Meek, let Diddy eat him out. Yeah, he really said that. No filters, no asterisks, just a blunt force trauma of a sentence that immediately sent Twitter into meltdown mode. And while it might seem like Soulja just randomly woke up and chose chaos, there's a deeper and much messier backstory to all this. Let's rewind for a second to where this beef actually started, because no, it wasn't over studio time or album sales. It all kicked off with a tweet, because of course it did. Producer Cardo called out Soulja Boy for allegedly dissing Metro Boomin's late mother. Pretty heavy stuff already. But then Meek Mill, who had absolutely zero involvement in that situation, swooped in out of nowhere to call Soulja an idiot and strongly imply that if he kept running his mouth, he might not make it out alive. That was the spark. Soulja clapped back instantly, and not with just any insult. He went straight for the throat and below the belt by bringing Diddy into the mix in the most vulgar way possible. Suddenly, it wasn't just a Twitter argument. It was a full-blown celebrity scandal cocktail with a twist of conspiracy and a splash of potential defamation. But the real fuel on the fire? That came from the already sizzling allegations surrounding Diddy himself. Enter Lil Rod Jr., the producer who filed a massive lawsuit against Diddy, claiming sexual misconduct, abuse, and, you guessed it, intimate relationships with unnamed male celebrities. One of these men, according to the lawsuit, was described as a Philly rapper who once dated Nicki Minaj. Now look, you don't need to be a genius or a gossip blogger to put two and two together. That description basically comes with a glowing neon sign that says Meek Mill and a question mark the size of Philadelphia. So, when Soulja Boy made his bold claim, it didn't come out of thin air. It was a grenade tossed into an already ticking time bomb.
I'm at a point in my life like, we all grew up in the streets, and we try to be better, but they labeled us felons, sent us back to jail. I had to fight against that the whole time to gain my respect and be who I am today, and I'm proud of that.
Now here's where it gets even weirder, because of course it does. Meek Mill didn't take the high road or issue a calm, measured denial. Nope. Instead, he went on a Twitter tirade that felt like someone had swapped his water with 5 shots of espresso and a heavy dose of paranoia. He tweeted about hiring an investigative team to find out who was framing him, claimed he didn't know what was going on, and essentially yelled into the void for hours. And here's the thing. When people are innocent, they usually don't respond like someone just accused them of robbing Fort Knox. That kind of over-the-top defensiveness only made the rumors louder. People started asking, if there's nothing to hide, why the meltdown? But wait, because yes, it gets worse. A former bodyguard of Diddy's came forward around the same time with a wild story of his own. This guy wasn't just talking, he had details.
Everybody kind of knew back in the day that Meek Mills and Puff was a little too friendly. Anytime 2 rappers or 2 people in the industry come dressed up alike on more than one occasion, they probably embarrassed for the fact to see that Meek Mills, one of the street guys that came out of there, got caught up in this Hollywood he dressing like Diddy?
According to him, Diddy's infamous parties weren't just champagne and celebrity selfies. They allegedly involved drinks being spiked, guests blacking out, and acts going down that people didn't even remember happening. Most disturbingly, he claimed he personally witnessed a woman passed out in a car after a New Year's Eve party, and said there were audio recordings of one party that featured Diddy and Meek Mill engaging in, well, let's just say, unholy extracurriculars. And if that wasn't enough to get people clutching their pearls, actor Orlando Brown decided to throw his 2 cents in. And when Orlando shows up, things are about to get messy. He said he heard the recording too, and confidently claimed that one of the voices in the explicit audio belonged to Meek Mill. You know it's bad when Orlando Brown is fact-checking your private life. Then, like some forgotten receipt from a shady night out, a birthday video of Diddy throwing a lavish pool party for Meek Mill resurfaced online. In the clip, Diddy, shirtless and surrounded by other shirtless dudes, calls Meek daddy and says he's proud of him.
What's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
Now, to be fair, this could have been nothing more than bros being oddly affectionate bros. But in the current climate, fans didn't see innocent birthday vibes, they saw confirmation. And just like that, the rumor machine kicked into overdrive. But it wasn't just social media digging up old videos. Inside a courtroom, things were reportedly just as uncomfortable. According to alleged insiders, audio featuring Diddy in some very explicit male-on-male encounters was played as evidence. The audio was reportedly so graphic, the courtroom went dead silent. No one laughed. No one whispered. Just stunned silence. The leak didn't officially name names, but online buzz once again pointed toward Meek Mill being one of the men heard on the tape. At this point, even people who had never listened to a single Meek Mill song were getting involved just to follow the drama. Desperate to clear his name, or at least calm things down, Meek went on Twitter again. This time, he tried to do damage control by claiming the wildest thing he ever saw at a Diddy party was some casual cocaine use. "I didn't even like weed," he said, trying to distance himself from the whole mess. But unfortunately, Twitter never forgets. Fans immediately dug up old lyrics where Meek said, "I hope they forgive me for what I did with Diddy." And suddenly that innocent tweet turned into a breadcrumb trail that people were more than happy to follow. And just when you thought it couldn't spiral further, conspiracy theories about Nicki Minaj entered the chat. Yep, some fans, apparently not content with the chaos already unfolding, started speculating that Nicki herself might have had a hand in recording and leaking the infamous audio. The theory goes like this. She paid someone to claim responsibility for the leak, all as revenge against Meek for how he treated her during and after their relationship. Now, whether this is true, or just another wild Twitter theory depends on your level of tinfoil hat tolerance, but it definitely kept the fire burning. Now at this point, it's worth asking, how did we get here? Like, really here? From rap beef to court tapes, with Soulja Boy launching missiles, Meek Mill spiraling on Twitter, and Diddy somewhere in the background like a Bond villain hosting secret parties. It's the kind of plotline that would make even Empire writers say, all right, that's a bit much. But Soulja wasn't done stirring the pot. In follow-up posts and live streams, he doubled down on his claims, bragging that he had the tapes, or at least access to them through alleged industry insiders. He said Meek messed with the wrong one, and that the truth was going to come out whether Meek liked it or not. Now we can all agree that Soulja Boy has a history of exaggerating and running his mouth for attention. This is the same guy who once claimed he shot someone while doing a backflip. But still, in this particular case, his allegations hit a little differently, because they weren't coming out of nowhere. They were hitting the internet in the middle of an ongoing federal investigation, multiple lawsuits, and mounting accusations against Diddy. That made Soulja's outbursts feel less like clickbait and more like a potential leak. What's made this story so captivating for the internet and so disastrous for Meek is the fact that none of the reactions from Meek have actually helped his case. Every tweet, every live, every vague lyric or half-hearted denial has only added more smoke to a fire that's now threatening to burn his reputation to the ground. And let's be real here. In the world of celebrity scandals, perception is everything. You could be completely innocent, but if your response screams panic, people will assume the worst. And unfortunately for Meek, that's exactly what's happening. Meanwhile, Diddy's silence is starting to speak volumes. After years of being the loudest man in the room, dancing in videos, giving questionable interviews, and tossing out bottles in clubs, he's gone suspiciously quiet. His legal team is working overtime, his social media has dried up, and his name is being whispered like a curse word in the industry. When even Diddy goes into hiding, you know it's bad. And the internet? Oh, the internet is feasting. Every day, new clips, interviews, and receipts pop up. Fans are doing deep dives like they're working for TMZ and the FBI at the same time. Old footage is being reanalyzed, old tweets are getting new context, and suddenly everyone thinks they're a legal analyst. You know it's serious when YouTubers start drawing red circles and arrows on thumbnail images like they're cracking the Da Vinci Code. And let's be honest, it's entertaining. Dark? Yes. Possibly career-ending for some of these celebrities? Absolutely. But also entertaining in a way that only chaotic celebrity news can be. Let's not forget the conspiracy fringe either. That corner of the internet is now speculating that the leaked tapes are just the tip of the iceberg, with more explosive material set to drop. Some believe Soulja Boy is being used as a distraction, a pawn in a much bigger game to take down some of the music industry's most powerful names. Others think this is all just revenge, for clout, for broken friendships, or even for deeper industry betrayals we don't know about yet. It's messy, it's dramatic, and it's nowhere near over. And poor Meek Mill, whether he's guilty or just caught in a vicious rumor cycle, he's now the face of one of the most talked about entertainment scandals of the year. His mentions are a war zone. His every tweet gets screen recorded and analyzed, like it's a courtroom exhibit. His attempts to shift the narrative haven't worked. And with every new piece of alleged evidence, he finds himself deeper in a hole that might take more than just PR cleanup to escape. Now look, at the end of the day, these are allegations. Nothing has been proven beyond a shadow of a doubt in a court of law. And while Soulja Boy might be loud, vulgar, and messy, that doesn't automatically make him wrong. Sometimes the truth does come from the most unexpected sources, and sometimes it's just messy people being messy for the internet's amusement. Either way, we're in for a ride. The craziest part? This might still be the calm before the storm. The lawsuits are ongoing, the investigations haven't wrapped up, and Soulja Boy has made it very clear that he has no intention of zipping his mouth. If anything, he's just warming up. And if that infamous audio recording ever leaks publicly, or gets confirmed in court with named individuals, it could shake the industry in a way we haven't seen since the Me Too movement first hit Hollywood. So buckle up. This isn't just a beef between two rappers. This is turning into a messy, potentially explosive look behind the scenes of the music industry, a place where power, secrecy, and scandal seem to go hand in hand. Whether you believe Soulja, support Meek, or just came for the drama, one thing's for sure: this story isn't going away anytime soon. And now I want to hear your thoughts. Do you think Soulja Boy's claims hold any weight? Is Meek just an innocent man caught in the crossfire? Or is there more to these rumors than we're being told? Drop your take in the comments below. We're reading all of them. And don't forget to like this video, subscribe for more explosive updates, and smash that notification bell so you never miss the next twist in this wild saga. Until next time, stay curious, stay skeptical, and stay entertained.